In today's video, Dog Squad, we are going to be previewing the 4 college football playoff quarterfinal games. We're going to be going over the offense versus the defense. We're going to be talking about it here as we get ready for the college football playoff first quarterfinal game between Miami and Ohio State tonight. It is New Year's Eve here. I want to thank everyone for the support on this channel this entire year. I'll be doing my recap short that I've been doing the past 2 years for the channel just in a little bit here on Trey. And also I might do a little bit one for TreyDOGaming as well, but just a little bit what we had, because not all year things. So I might, who knows, you'll just have to see on TreyDOGaming, link in the description below, or you can search it up on YouTube. But it was a great year. Very, very great, because we hit 1K. Very exciting year as we hit 1K back in February, and we're at 1.12K right now. It was a little slower, probably for a little bit, but it kind of picked back up a little bit more. And I want to thank you for all the views, subscribers, everyone that's been new. Hopefully 2026 is much greater as we'll be kind of chasing more into my, trying to get to my career, as I will be going to college this upcoming year in 2026 in August. So I'm very excited. Most likely I'll be heading to Oklahoma State University. So that's probably where I'll be going. But if you are watching this video, at least the other people that aren't watching this video at least will know when I make my actual official announcement. But that is probably where I'll probably be going. But as we get into this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, keep it going, hit the notification bell so you never miss one of my videos. We're on the road to 2K subs. Now, without further ado, let's get right into this video, Dog Squad. Alright, Dog Squad, here we are, the 2025 College Football Playoff Quarterfinals Preview. I guess you also could say 2026, but it did start, it's about the 2025 season. So, but we are going to be previewing College Football Playoff here. We start off with Miami and Ohio State. Miami just coming off a win that was mostly a defensive battle until their offense proved at the end they can do it in crunch time. And they did exactly that, beating A&M in Kyle Field and heading to the Goodyear Cotton Bowl on New Year's Eve here at 6:30 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. Miami the 10 seed and Ohio State the 2 seed. We take a look at Miami's offense versus Ohio State's defense. Miami's offense has been pretty good this year. This is an offense that averages 427 yards per game. They have a high amount of completions and touchdowns on passing and averages 157 rush yards per game with 2 TDs average. They also have a high-graded O-line that definitely made some statements before in the past. This offense had trouble going up against A&M last week. So when they go up against a high-powered Ohio State defense that's #1 in major stats, and they definitely are going to have to get to the perimeter against this Ohio State defense that has been phenomenal under Matt Patricia. I mean, this is one of the best defenses I've seen in years. And Miami's got some key players of Carson Beck and Malachi Tony. And Tony had some big plays against A&M last week. He had good receptions, but also the running back's good. They can run the ball past the game. They are pretty solid when it comes to getting yards, getting points on the board. But they have their flaws of turning over the ball. That's going to be huge when Ohio State's huge with safety Caleb Downs, who is a potential first round pick. He probably will be a first top 10 pick in the NFL draft. This team can take away the ball. It's going to be tough for Miami to go up against a very talented Ohio State group that is #1, as mentioned, in major stats. They're big on those situations. They're big in this playoffs. This is going to be huge for Miami to get through of Ohio State's defense, and they're going to have to hold Miami. They got to play like they've been doing all year. When we take a look at Miami's defense for Ohio State's offense, and I'll tell you, this Miami defense was bad last year, but they have developed probably the better unit than their offense. Allows fewer yards than other teams' elite pass rushing and sacks. They're huge on sacks. They've been going all year. They have Ruben Bain at D-line and Akeem Messador at D-line. This is going to be huge. They can also take away the ball. Big on that with as another key player, DB Bryce Fitzgerald. This Miami defense has been big on not letting other teams get a lot of yards. They were big last week against A&M, who was going up against, who was a Heisman contender. Wasn't the finalist, but he was a contender for most of the year. And this team has big pass rushing. Their D-line is big in this game. The O-line for Ohio State is going to have to play their best game they've been all year, because they're going up against a really good pass and run rush. And they also can form sacks. Pass rushing is going to be huge. Julian Sand's going to have to watch out for those D linemen today. And Ohio State's offense, they have been a top offense all year. they can do about anything from passing and running, but they love to go vertical passing, as you can see. They love flashing pass. They love to go deep. So what Miami's going to have to watch the deep ball because Ohio State can beat you on those. They got fast receivers just like Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, who were potential first-round picks. I think Jeremiah Smith's going to the draft, but Julian Sand, he was a Heisman finalist. Finished, I believe, in third in front of Jeremiah Love. He has been tremendous as well this year. You know, he's going to definitely have a lot of the deep balls. He's going to throw vertically. He's going to throw the great. He's going to use these receivers that he's been doing all year. You know, he honestly, the offense had the best game against Indiana, but I think they'll have this could be a lower scoring game, and I think they'll prove more against Miami's defense because I don't think they're as good as Indiana's. But that's what they're going to get through a tough Miami defense who loves to pass rush and allow few yards. And they're going to really, that play action is really what they're going to have to use tonight against Miami. Bo Jackson also is a running back that this team is going to have to get through Miami's defense. Their D-line is tough. If they can block them, Bo Jackson can get through because he's been pretty good this year for the Buckeyes. Moving on, the number 5 seed, Oregon Ducks versus number 4, Texas Tech, New Year's Day. The game that starts 2026. It's the Capital and Orange Bowl, 11 a.m. Central Time on ESPN. Oregon just coming off a win against James Madison, 56-34 against the Dukes. And they actually allowed James Madison to score 34. I don't think they put their backups in. I think they actually did. Their defense has to improve. They've been pretty good all year, but they're going to have to improve in this game. They want to go up against a good Texas Tech offense. We'll go in just a second. Because now it's time to talk about Oregon's offense versus Texas Tech defense. The matchup that probably is going to be the talk of the college football playoff after this and, of course, before. Oregon's offense is 9th in scoring, 11th in total, and elite offensive line. Offensive line is going to be huge to block Texas Tech's very good defensive front and very good run defense. They have a lot of key playmakers, a lot of players that can make runs. They can run the ball really well. They can pass the ball really well. Dante Moore is a potential first overall pick. The quarterback, Malik Benson, he has been a great target this year for Dante Moore. They are one of the highest static teams in the country. Like I said, scoring and total. They can definitely do a lot of damage to a Texas Tech defense that's been phenomenal this year. Led by linebacker Jacob Rodriguez, who was a Heisman candidate, didn't make the finalists. I think he was 5th in Heisman voting to get to the Heisman finalists a couple Saturdays ago. But their Texas Tech defense is one of the best rush defenses in the league. They are top nationally. They actually, I think, are number 1. But they might be right next to Ohio State in that category. And then they're also a strong pass defense. Not the top, not the really highest, but they're very good at pass defense. They can do about anything. 4th in success rate as well. Teams don't usually, no matter how high scoring they are, the teams don't usually get the ball, get through them much. Now, let's just be clear. Texas Tech hasn't played the opponents Oregon has played. Oregon's done this, has done this against some teams that have been, pretty dang good, but they did struggle to score against Penn State until overtime, and then also they ended up scoring 20 against Indiana, which isn't terrible. So you could expect to be less today. I could maybe see a low-scoring game, but we need to see what Texas Tech's offense is. But keep in mind, this is one of the best offenses that can score points and one of the best defenses that can hold points. All right, and then Oregon's defense versus Texas Tech's offense. This is going to kind of be what we're going to look at if the other one is a stalemate when a high-scoring offense meets a very powerful defense. Because Oregon's defense has been top 15 in the nation. Don't get them wrong. This has been a very tough defensive play. They had a bad game against James Madison. No, it was not garbage time. They actually let them score that much. Top 15 in total in scoring defense. They also have a really good front D-line that can hold running backs, can get to the quarterback. They have a pretty good D-line that can get there. And then also, they have key players like linebacker Bryce Boetter and safety Dylan Theinman. So this is going to be one tough of an Oregon defense to get through. With Texas offense, has been top 5 in the league all year. This is not just a defensive team and like an okay offense. It's a pretty dang good offense. Top 5 in total and scoring offenses with 66.1 completion percentage and gets 23.4 first downs a game. That's going to be something that Oregon's going to have to keep an eye on as well. Guys can't be on the field with them the whole entire time, or Texas Tech will run right through you. And they also, the quarterback's pretty good with Baron Morton is another good one. They can run the ball with Cameron Dickey and pass a lot to the ball to Caleb Douglas, his favorite target. Both powerful units, so it's going to be a really good game to watch when both units are very powerful like this. All right, the Rose Bowl, number 9 Alabama, number 1 Indiana, New Year's Day, 3 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. It is the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl between the 9-seeded Tide and the 1-seeded Indiana Hoosiers. Let's say Indianapolis. Indiana Hoosiers. Tide coming off a win against Oklahoma. They came back from 17-0 to win in the game in Oklahoma. Sorry. This team for Alabama, they're coming off with a lot of hype, and honestly, it could be just like Ohio State. They could pull Ohio State this year if they're not careful. Because remember, they're in the same exact situation Ohio State was. You know, they were the 8th seed. They were in the 9, but they were coming off the 9-8 game. They blew out the 1 seed in the Rose Bowl, and then they beat a 5 seed Texas in the Cotton Bowl, and then won the championship and blew out Notre Dame for most of the game until they tried coming back, and then they won it still. This Alabama team's coming with fierce. They're coming with fire for getting probably hated for not making the playoffs. So this Alabama team is gonna be probably scary against Indiana. And Indiana's gotten quite a bit of hate from them being in the Big Ten, not getting as much, competition. It's going to be a question to see what Indiana does, but we'll talk about it. Alabama's offense versus Indiana's defense. Alabama offense isn't like a top one, but they are pretty good. If you want to count them out around the nation, yes, they probably are top. They're not like top 5 or something like that. 18th best third down offense, 29 points per game, 27 in the red zone. So that right there is, compared to other people, that's like not as good, but that's still good. 29 points per game, now that's pretty good. So, like I'm saying, and they're not like a very, very good offense, but they are they're good offense that can make plays with quarterback Ty Simpson, and they have pretty good receivers such as wide receiver Brian Williams and wide receiver Jeremy Bernard, who had a pretty standout game last game against Oklahoma. Meanwhile, this Indiana defense is ranked highly. They stopped Ohio State pretty dang well. They held Oregon to 20 points, which, is pretty good when they have a high-powered offense like that. But they can definitely there's going to be struggle to get points and yards against them. To move the ball against this Indiana defense is going to be tough to do. When you have an Alabama offense like that, they're going to have to make smart plays in that Tide offense, and they're going to have Kalen DeBoer called. They're going to have him and the coordinator do some good stuff on offense. With Lewis Moore, and linebacker Elijah Hardy, this is going to be a very big game for this Indiana defense to prove they can stop anyone in the SEC as well. Alabama defense for Indiana offense. All right, so the defense is 15th in points per game and big on interceptions. Yes, they can take the ball away easily. Fernando Mendoza is going to definitely have to make smart plays and smart decisions here in the Rose Bowl, in the big-time moment when they have key players DB Bray Hubbard and linebacker Deontay Lawson. These are key players that can force turnovers and can definitely not allow many points. They had some struggles against Oklahoma early in the game, but they took care of business and also had a pick 6 against the Sooners. So this Alabama defense is going to be key when they have to stop one of the best offenses in the league. This is their best moment. If Alabama wants to prove something more, they have to go against one of the best offenses in the league. That was held 13 points by Ohio State's defense, but has been just killing teams. When they scored 30 against Oregon's good defense. They scored 60-something against Illinois. This is an Indiana offense that is high-powered with points per game, yards per game. They can do about anything. They can run the ball, pass the ball, whatever you want to say. Fernando Mendoza, Roman Hemby, and Omar Cooper Jr. have been phenomenal for the Hoosiers this year, as Kurt Cignetti has done a fantastic job turning Indiana into one of the best teams this year and getting the 1 seed and winning the Big Ten. They probably won't be happy. Maybe not even give a smirk when they win the national championship. But hey, he's got that lock-in mentality, and I like it. He can be a little cocky, but he's still a really good coach. And this Indiana offense is going to give Alabama's defense a test. It's going to be a good matchup to watch between these two units, probably more than the Alabama offense versus Indiana defense. All right, and the last one, Ole Miss and Georgia. I'm just making sure. All right, the last one, Ole Miss and Georgia. New Year's Day, 7 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. The 6th-seeded Rebels coming off a huge victory over Tulane, and we're still kind of deciding if mid-majors should be in the college football playoff because, or at least auto bids. I wouldn't say it's mid-major, but at least auto bid teams, because it's like they're getting blown out though. So like even James Madison gave a thought, they're still getting blown out. Like we're not really gonna expect a really good competition. So Ole Miss wins that game. Georgia's coming out of an SEC title game, blowing out Alabama by 21 points. We'll see what they can do against another Rebels team. They bet it back a couple months ago. It was a very good game. Georgia came out with a win at home, so this is definitely going to be a good rematch to watch in New Orleans. Ole Miss's offense versus Georgia defense. Now they were pretty good with Lane Kiffin under the belt. They had some balancing with to see what they could do with the quarterback situation. They kind of finally found their one when they played Arkansas, my Hogs, back in week number 3. This offense is very high scoring. They 37.5 points per game average and almost 500 yards per game. They can do anything. This was in the SEC. This offense is phenomenal to watch. They have the most rushing TDs, so Georgia's going to have to keep an eye on rushing. Their quarterback can run as well. TreyDOGaming. They have the running back that has been leading the team in running TDs and has been doing a lot of the work. Running back Kewan Lacey and wide receiver Harrison Wallace III. He has been a phenomenal wideout for the Rebels offense this year and has helped the team get those high points per game every single time they get on the field. Meanwhile, the Georgia defense is one of the best in the nation and is getting capable of stopping Ole Miss. They had some trouble doing it before, but this time it could be different. Well, and maybe it'll be even more for Ole Miss whenever they play the Dogs in New Orleans in the college football playoff. They're 4th national run defense and 1st in the SEC. They're phenomenal. They got some big dogs, literally big dogs, because they're Georgia Bulldogs. More improved red zone defense than it was before, so now they're at least a good red zone defense than they were about before the season started and at least earlier in the year. This team is dominant on defense, and they're the team that can be able to stop Ole Miss's offense in this matchup. They're not giving it. They're not like a defense that they can't stop. This is a defense that will be able to stop a high-powered Rebel offense, and their key players are linebacker C.J. Allen and DB Ellis Robinson the 4th. These are very big players. Georgia's defense has always been a fantastic unit to watch. Ole Miss could have trouble, but they also could make plays. They're going to have to do that today. But we'll see what they do with their new coach. That'll be the new coach next year. All right. Ole Miss's defense versus Georgia offense. They allowed 323 total yards per game, 19.31 points per game allowed, and 5th in the SEC. So they're pretty good defense. Not like Georgia's, but they're pretty dang good. They can make plays. They can key players, safety, Wydot Williams Jr. and linebacker Citrine Perkins. They have been phenomenal this year for the Rebels defense. They're not like Georgia, but if they're gonna have to make a statement and make a play here. They struggled against Georgia defending them back a couple months ago. They're gonna have to try to do it again. When they have to play the 7th ranked SEC offense, they are scoring 31 points per game. But you want to factor how they can score. You're going to have to protect the red zone. If you can do that, you might not let Georgia score a lot of points. They can move the ball, run the ball. They can do a lot of things because Stockton can run the ball as well. Not just Nate Frazier, who's been another really good running back in the SEC this year. It's also Stockton. He can use his feet. It's big on running the ball where it comes Dogtown for Georgia and Kirby Smart. Stockton, Frazier, Zachariah, Branch, and Lawson Lucky, who is one of the best tight ends in the SEC. He has been a good factor for this team for the Georgia Bulldogs. And they've always known how to use those tight ends and all those guys. They seem to be using him. They used to have Brock Bowers, and he was a big playmaker for the Dogs, and now he's over on the Raiders. He needs to be on a better team probably. But maybe he can get a quarterback, and maybe he can get Mendoza or Dante Moore. But we'll talk about the NFL when it gets to that point. But this offense has been not like the top, but they've been pretty good, and they have a lot of weapons that can slow down an Ole Miss defense that allows just only 19 points per game. So that's going to be a key matchup to watch. It was a high-scoring game last time, so we'll see what goes on here in the Sugar Bowl and the light shine brightest. But thanks for watching, Dog Squad. Leave down your prediction for these games and your champion at the end of the playoffs. I want to know who you have winning these games, and also I want to know who you have win the whole thing. Like and subscribe. We're on the road to 2K. It'd be very appreciated. Hope everyone has a happy new year. 2026 will be a good year for everyone. I'm wishing that on every single one of y'all. And I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for the support the entire year. And 2026 will bring the best. More to come. Thank you so much for watching, Dog Squad. Peace.